I've lived alone for 5 years now. I don't complain. I like the solitude. It's quiet, predictable. Well, it was, until a few months ago. My only company in the house is Max, my dog. He's a big, loyal, calm black Labrador. I adopted him from a shelter 3 years ago, and since then, he's been my shadow. I never thought something as ordinary as having a dog could become the most disturbing experience of my life. It all started with little things that could easily go unnoticed or be attributed to tiredness or distraction. Objects that weren't where I had left them. Doors I usually closed that appeared open the next day. Max always followed me everywhere, and every time something strange happened, he was there, watching me with those dark eyes that seemed to understand more than they should. At first, I didn't give it much thought. We all make mistakes, right? But the night when everything truly began, I'll never forget. It was late, around 3 in the morning. I woke up with a start, not sure why, but there was a tension in the air that made my skin crawl. Max was standing by my bedroom door, staring down the hallway. I called him, but he didn't move. He just kept staring as if he saw something I couldn't. I got out of bed and walked toward him. As I peeked into the hallway, everything was silent, but a chill ran down my spine. The hallway was dark, and for some reason, I felt absurdly terrified to walk through it. Max didn't move, and his eyes never left the darkness. "What's wrong, Max?" I murmured, even though I knew I wouldn't get a response. He just tilted his head like he always did when something intrigued him. I decided there was nothing there, that I was just being paranoid. I turned back toward my room, and then I heard it. A whisper, very low, coming from the kitchen. It seemed to say my name. Chris. My heart started pounding. I grabbed the baseball bat I kept under my bed and went downstairs, feeling adrenaline rush through my veins. Max followed me, his steps light and silent. When we got to the kitchen, nothing was out of the ordinary. No windows open, no sign that anyone had entered. Yet the whisper was still there. "Hello?" I asked, knowing I wouldn't get a response, but somehow part of me hoped I would. The strangest thing was that Max wouldn't move from the doorway. I called him several times, but he wouldn't come in. That made me even more nervous. Max had always been protective, but something was holding him back that night. The whisper suddenly stopped, and with it, an eerie calm washed over the house. I decided that was enough for one night, but when I turned to head back to my room, Max was standing in the middle of the hallway, staring at me. I had never seen him like that. His eyes were shining with an intensity I couldn't understand. "What's wrong, boy?" I said, approaching him slowly. Then it happened. Max spoke. He didn't bark, he didn't growl, he spoke. In a deep, soft voice, he said, "Don't go to the room, Chris." I froze. My legs turned to stone and the air left my lungs. I couldn't move. I couldn't think. All I could do was stare at my dog, my loyal companion for the past 3 years, and try to make sense of what had just happened. I was paralyzed by terror, but also by disbelief. Max was speaking, and his voice was so calm, so human, that it shattered any sense of normality I had left. What did you say?" I managed to murmur. "Don't go to the room, Chris," Max repeated, this time with a cold urgency in his tone. "It's not safe." My mind tried to cling to any rational explanation. Maybe I was dreaming, or maybe I was going crazy. Yeah, that had to be it. But then Max walked toward me, his eyes locked on mine, and he said something that froze my blood. "I'm not who you think I am." Suddenly, the world stopped making sense. Everything I believed about reality crumbled in that moment. Max, the dog I had cared for and loved, wasn't just a dog. Something, or someone, was using his body. And the worst part was that, for some reason, It seemed like he had always known more than he let on. "What are you?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "I've been protecting you, Chris, since the day you came here. I can't explain everything right now, but you need to trust me. Something in this house, something in your room, isn't what it seems. You can't go back there." My head was spinning. Protecting me? From what? And how did my dog know all of this? I didn't know what scared me more, the fact that my dog was talking, or the possibility that there was something even more terrifying waiting in my room.